What time do you guys wake up at in the morning?
I wake up at 5, 6, 7 or 8.
I wake up about 11 or 12.
I wake up at about 8 and then I listen to East Leeds Community Radio.
Wow. Hello and welcome to Chapel FM Burns Night 2025. I'm Tony. We've got a nice packed theater, lots of performers and great audience members. We've all been having haggis and eats and how was the food, by the way, everybody? Okay. Cheers for Elliot, who went above and beyond, searching all over Leeds to find vegetarian haggis. The normal haggis is easy to find, the vegetarian not so easy. So there you go. And yes, you are listening to us, East Leeds Community Radio from the Chapel FM Arts Center. I am Tony. I'm sadly not Scottish, even though my name, Macaluso, you could almost fool people into thinking it's Scottish. I got the Mac part. Normally, this would be hosted by some of our we've got some proper Scottish folks. By the way, who here has any kind of Scottish connection, Scottish roots? Anybody? So 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got about at least 10 people with Scottish connections. Oh, Lydia, I didn't know that. There we go. Normally, this would be hosted by our intrepid Glaswegian James Fernie, who's a longtime member of Chapel FM, hosting radio shows here. He is at home, I think probably listening in. So hello to James Fernie. Everyone say hello to James, because he's the one who... There you go. He's on the mend, but hello, James. And also, he'd be co-hosting with Peter Spafford, our director of words here, who's also at home mending and listening to this. So we can say hello to Peter as well. So quick, hello, Peter. And hello to everybody else listening at home around the world to Burns Night here at Chapel FM Arts Center. Hello. Got it, good. All right, well, in just a moment, we're actually going to hear James to kick it off, and then we're going to jump into the rest of the proceedings. So let's hear a bit of James Fernie himself doing the Burns piece, Mary Morrison. Here's James.
This is a piece that I was not familiar with, to be honest. It's a piece of romance from Burns called Mary Morrison. O Mary, at thy window be, it is the wished, the trysted hour, those smiles and glances let me see that make the miser's treasure poor. How blithely would abide the stour, a weary slave frae sun to sun, could I the rich reward secure, the lovely Mary Morrison. Yestreen, when to the trembling string the dance gaed through the lighted hall, to thee my fancy took its wing. I sat, but neither heard nor saw. Though this was fair and that was braw, and yon the toast of all the tune, I sighed and said among them all, ye arena Mary Morrison. O Mary, canst thou wreck his peace, what for thy sake would gladly die? Or canst thou break that heart of his, whose only thought is love in thee? If love for love thou wilt na gie, at least be pity to me shown. A thought ungentle canna be, the thought o' Mary Morrison.
And a round of applause for... And that was James Fernie, who would be here with us live, but he pre-recorded that, so listening in from home. We'll hear James a few more times throughout the evening. And James also hosts a number of radio shows here. Hot Flavors is a show of jazz and poetry that he hosts on the radio station. You can catch him doing that. So, Robert Burns. So, some of you, I'm sure, have lots of connections with Burns going back over the years, but maybe other people not so much or not so familiar with Burns and why it is that we every year here at Chapel FM, but also all around the world, do events to celebrate Burns. Tomorrow is the official Burns night, but we're doing it a day early. So, Lydia, did you know anything about Robert Burns before you came here tonight?
Not really. Is he like the Scottish version of Guy Fawkes?
Ooh, a Scottish version of Guy Fawkes. Oh, okay. Well, good guess. That's a fair question. Okay. So I'm just curious if we love a little bit of engagement with the audience here. For anyone here, people that are familiar with Burns, is there anything, what is it in your opinion, that makes Burns so special? I mean, there's not many poets that people all around the world celebrate every single year. In fact, I can't think of another poet that's celebrated in quite the same way. James?
I would say they embrace sentimentality in a way that should with poetry.
Okay, that he embraces sentimentality in a way that poetry should, or poets should. I like that, that's interesting. A few others, just to hear a few thoughts. Okay, Vicky and then Mally.
Because he's one of the most eminent poets who writes in the Scots dialect, so not Gaelic, but the Scots dialect. He's the most prolific, and there's a big outcry in Scotland at the moment that he's just been dropped from the highest syllabus. So in Scotland you do highers instead of A-levels.
Yeah.
And he's just been dropped, which is a crying shame because he is represents a whole genre of Scottish poetry and sums up a language that is spoken in the lowlands of Scotland.
Fantastic. Well, Vicky's going to be telling a story later, so stay tuned for that. Mally and then Phil.
Well, that lady said exactly what I was going to say. He's one of the few poets who wrote in dialect, and he was a prolific balladeer as well as a poet. So he's an amazing man.
Fantastic. Yeah, and for people that aren't familiar with Burns, you're going to hear some words tonight, and you scratch your head and wonder, what does that word mean? Because it's Scots dialect, but you can look them all up as well. Phil.
Well, I like him particularly because he encourages me to come here every year and see Dr. Finlay, which has always been very funny. Whether he comes on again tonight or not, I don't know. But there you go.
Okay, we will keep an eye out for Dr. Finlay. Okay. Any other thoughts? It's great. These have been great so far. It's lovely to just hear people's thoughts on Burns and stuff like that. Yeah, Steve.
I think Robbie Burns was the Harry Styles of his day as well, because he was all the women loved him.
Yeah, I think that's an apt comparison from what I understand of Harry Styles. Yeah. So, any other Burns thoughts? And Burns has, the people who've been influenced by Burns is just incredible. A couple years ago, we did talk about Abraham Lincoln, the president, who was a huge admirer of Burns, but there's just a massive list of people who are interested in Burns. And in fact, there's a film out right now about a singer who's been around for about 60 years. What's that? Yeah, Bob Dylan was massively influenced by Robert Burns, and there's lots of references to Burns in Dylan's. There's a great song about the Highlands as well that Bob Dylan wrote. So the list goes on and on. But I'm going to go back to Lydia one more time here because you gave such a good answer before. One of the things we do on Burns Night also is eat some special food. And have you had haggis before? I know you had haggis tonight, right?
Yeah, I did have haggis tonight, but no, I have never had it before. And I have also never heard of neeps or tatties.
Okay. Oh, good. So you're perfect. So first time eating. Anyone else had haggis for the first time tonight? Or has everyone else had haggis before? First time. Okay. James, first time. Okay. Olivia, first time having haggis. So a few people having haggis for the first time. So one more question for you, Lydia, and that's the last one. Have you ever seen a live haggis, either in the zoo or in the wilderness?
I don't know if I should be scared or not to see one, but no.
Okay. Has anyone else ever seen a live haggis or have one for a pet or grow up with a haggis around? Well, Elliot did a little bit of research, and he's going to tell you a little more about the haggis that you just ate. Did you get the regular version or the vegetarian version?
I ate the regular version.
Okay.
I must say, it was absolutely magnificent.
And what do you think a live haggis looks like?
I don't know.
Okay, well, you're going to find out in just a moment here. So Elliot is going to tell you a bit about the haggis, and then we'll be back to more Robert Burns in just a moment. So here it is, Elliot's film about the haggis.
Our story begins in the mists of time and has been passed down through the centuries to generations of Scots. A tale of where wild land and wild life unite. It is a legend full of mystery and survival. The story of the wild haggis. Haggis scoticus can be found all over the country, but they aren't easy to spot with their rough brown fur and distinctive stance. Hiding deep in the dense trees and shrubs, they are even harder to catch. Two of their legs are shorter than the others to help them run faster around the steep hills and over rough terrain. And they need to be fast too, as they have been the target of haggis hunting for centuries. the skilled huntsmen of all ages head into the forests across Scotland in search of the clans of haggis. My grandfather used to say the wild haggis are good at sensing humans, and he would spend hours just waiting for a glimpse of one. But it has been ages since the wild haggis has been spotted in the wilderness in Scotland.
All right, very good. I won't be talking very much later in the evening, but for this first bit, I've got a few jobs to do, filling in for James. So, Lydia, what did you think of the haggis? We didn't really get to see it live, but what did you think of the haggis? Yeah.
I don't know.
There we go. All right, well, unlike some media organizations around the world, which there seem to be more and more of them that are happy to get away with lies and falsehoods, here at East Leeds Community Radio, we do believe in telling the truth. So I guess we should say, what is anyone know what a haggis is really made of? What's that? Yeah.
It's stuffed into a sheep's stomach, oatmeal, probably pinhead oats, offal, yeah.
It's all kinds of bits and pieces from animals stuffed into a sheepskin. So that's what we ate. So we should say, for the interest of truth, because we're in 2025, given that the world is full of falsehoods and media perpetuating untruths, we are going to tell the truth here at Chapel FM all through 2025. So yeah, the haggis is not actually a little animal that runs around in the forest like that.
No, can I also say the neeps? You call neeps, we call it swede. You call it swede, we call that neeps, yes. Right? The orange stuff is a swede. It's not. It's a turnip. It's a turnip. It's Scottish. It's a turnip.
There we go. So we stand corrected. So that is our motto 25. So if anybody catches anyone saying anything false, we're going to shout it out, because we need to combat all the falsehoods traveling around the world in the media these days and social media. All right, I think it's time for the quiz, and then we get into the music and the poetry and the rest of it. So the quiz. So I think Elliot and the gang have given you all sheets of paper there, and there are 10 questions, and they're going to appear on the screen behind me here. Yeah. So Sonia's going to join me with the other mic when it comes time to get answers to the quizzes and stuff. So 10 questions. Write your answers down. I have the answers here, and then we've got special prize for whoever gets the most correct answers. And we've got a backup in case there's a tie. Okay, come on in the meantime. We're just starting the quiz here. Grab a seat. Okay, and here we go. So there are 10 questions on the quiz. So no murmuring. Don't look at your neighbor's answers. It's all on trust here. Yes, there are 10 questions. Okay, ready to go? Question number 1? Okay. Can everyone see the screen back there? I'll read it out as well, so if you can't see the screen, I'll give you a readout. Question number 1. Where in Scotland? Oh, where in Scotland was where? I guess that's Elliot's, that's a bit of poetry there going on. Where in Scotland was Robert Burns born? A, Aberdeen. B, Airdrie, C, Alloway, and D, Glasgow. I feel like, Sonia, you should read these. You get the pronunciation better from me. Okay, so write your answers down. Which of those was it? Do you want to read question number 2, Sonia? We can alternate. Okay, there we go. Okay.
Right, question number 2. What was the name of Robert Burns' wife? Was it A, Mary Campbell? Was it B, Jean Armour? Was it C, Morag MacDonald? Or was it D, Mary Morrison?
Very good. Okay. Now, question number 3. In what year was Robert Burns born? Was it 1559, 1659, 1759, or 1859?
And what year did Robert Burns die? Was it A, 1589, B, 1603, C, 1769, or D, 1796?
And which U.S. city has a life-size replica of Robert Burns' cottage? Is it Atlanta? Is it B, Chicago? C, Boston, or D, Dallas? So we're at the halfway point in the quiz. Should we reveal the prize now? I think, or should we save it to the end? Okay, we'll keep the prize a secret until the end of the quiz. Okay, so here we go. Into question number 6.
Robert Burns became the first person in the world to appear on the front of which famous drinks brand? A, Pepsi, B, Coca-Cola, C, Iron Brew, or D, Dr. Pepper?
Very good. Okay, this is number 7. Which country is home to the oldest Robert Burns statue in the world? Is it Scotland, Australia, B, Australia, C, America, otherwise known as, what's that? Fence. I was going to say C, America, otherwise known as Greenland, let's say, and D, fence. And number 8, I think we're on now. Is that right? Are we at 8 or 7? I lost track of the count. 8. 8 is, when was the first Burns supper held? 1691, 1701, 1801, or 1906? D. Okay, 2 more questions to go. Which country was the first in the world to feature Robert Burns on a postage stamp? Was it Germany? B, the United Kingdom, C, China, or D, Russia? And finally, what age was Burns when he wrote his first poem? Was he A, 9 years old, B, 10, C, 15, or D, 18? Okay, so now make your last answer for the number question 10. Okay, so now a moment of truth, and Sonia, you will help me out here? We're going to do the, we got the answers here, so tally it up, and we'll collect your answers. We'll check them afterwards, so if anybody cheats, we'll know. And then we got a prize to hand out for the winner of the quiz. Okay, so, okay, everyone ready to go? So mark yours, and then tally up how many you got correct. Okay, so I'll do. Question number 1, where was he born? It was, do you know the right pronunciation? Alloway, number C, Alloway. Okay. What was the name of Robert Burns' wife?
It was Jean Armour.
Okay. That was B. So we'll give you the letters too. B. Yeah, that's right, because you won't remember what they are. So B. C. What year was Robert Burns born?
It was C, 1759.
And the year he died was D, 1796. So he was in his 30s, 36, 37. That was question 4, is D. D as in dog. Okay.
Yeah,
number 5.
Number 5, which US city has a life-sized replica of Robert Burns' cottage? And it's A, Atlanta.
Okay. 6 is, which kind of drink did he appear in the bottle of? And that was B, Coca-Cola. So look it up.
7, which country is home to the oldest Robert Burns statue in the world? And it's B, Australia.
So not France. 8, when was the first supper held? That was C, 1801. So just a few years after he died. Number C or letter C. For number 8.
Number 9, which country was the first in the world to feature Robert Burns on a postage stamp? And it was D, Russia.
And finally, what age was he when he wrote his first poem? That is C, 15 years old. Okay, so tally up your answers. So you've probably done more quizzes than me. So I guess we should see, okay. How many people, hold up your hands if you got at least 5 or more correct. How many got 5 or more correct? So only a few, okay. So 1, 2, 3, okay, you guys are the ones competing. 5 or more correct. How many of you got 6 correct? Take your hands down if you got, keep it up if you got 6. Okay, we still got at least 4 people, I think. How many got 7 correct? Oh, 7, I think. Yeah, you got 7 correct? So 7 it is, and okay, so you want to go do a quick interview with her, and I'll get the prize.
What was your name?
Joan Panton.
Joan?
Panton.
Joan Panton has won, and their prize is... Yeah, 2 cans of iron brew made from girders.
Okay. And so that means next up in the running order. Now we're getting to some music and poetry and all that stuff that you came here for. Except I've lost my running order. Where's it gone? Where's the running order gone? There it is. Okay. Coming up next in the lineup is Vicki Orton to tell us a story. So Vicki, for a round of applause for Vicki, and as she makes her way up. And Vicki Orton is a fantastic storyteller, has done lots of events here at Chapel FM. You may have heard her during the Writing on Air Festival just before Christmas, and also part of the fantastic Through Our Eyes music ensemble, which performs here at Chapel FM and rehearses here as well. So thank you, Vicki. And by the way, Vicki's story is, you might mention this, but Vicki's story has a couple of little hidden secrets inside it, some Robert Byrne poems that are tucked into the story. I think using this one down here, I think is the idea. Okay, and as Vicki gets settled in, so we're going to bring this in here, and this is going to be a version of Tam O'Shanter. Is that right, Vicki?
Wow, it's going to be a version of Tam O'Shanter as you've never heard it.
Great.
Whoops, I brought props with me. I don't know why I brought props with me, because I've left half of them behind. I never normally bring props with me. But oh, don't worry. So, now, I'm going to be telling you, well, a kind of version of Tam O'Shanter. And there will be some Scots dialect words in this. Some of them I'll let you just work out, but there are a couple that you might not have come across. So I guess most of you know Greetings Crying. And then nappy is strong ale, so that's booze. And a cutty sark means a short skirt. A sark is a skirt. So it's not the big boat down in London. Yeah. And a macca. Have people heard of the Scottish macca? No. So it's a bit like the poet laureate, but they are the national poet for Scotland. And the first macca wasn't appointed, well, for a long, long time, until I think it was about 2004, and they have just appointed the first ever Gaelic-speaking macca this year. So anyway, and the other thing is, how many of you know the tale of Tam O'Shanter? Hands up if you know it. Oh dear, right, okay. So, anyway, I bumped in to my pal Katie. You know Katie? Yes. Yeah? Oh, of course you do. You know, Big Tam's wife, Katie O'Shanter. Ah, you must do. You heard about Tam, though, didn't you? Well, I'll tell you what, if you didn't, now's probably not a good time to be asking Katie about it. She's right sore because, well, you know that Robbie Burns? Well, he's only gone and written about what Tam did. And, well, he's put his spin on it. And, well, she gave me it all written down, but, I mean, there's a lot of it. And I'll let you into a wee secret, as you can probably tell. I'm actually half Sassenach, and my Scots isn't so good. So I'm going to just read you an abridged version of Tam O'Shanter, because, like I say, well, Kate, she's not happy with it. No. Anyway, right. So, bear in mind, I'm just reading you wee snippets from it. Tam, drunken from November to October, nay sober on a market day, Tam drowned among the nappy. Didn't mind the storm or whistle. The night drove on with songs and clatter. But No man can tether time nor tide. The hour approaches, Tam mun ride. The wind blew as 'twas blown its last, loud, deep and lang, the thunder bellowed that night. A child might understand the Dale had business on his hand. Will mounted on his grey mare Meg, a better never lifted leg. Tam skelped on through dub and mire, despising wind and rain and fire, whilst holding fast his good blue bonnet, was crooning over some old Scots sonnet, lest bogles catch him unawares. Kirkalloway was drawing nigh, where gas and howlets nightly cry. The doubling storm rose through the woods, the lightning flashed from pole to pole, near and more near the thunder's roll. When glimmering through the trees, Kirkalloway seemed in a blaze. Through Ilkebore the beams were glancing, and loud resounded mirth and dancing. There sat old Nick, in shape of beast, a tosey tyke, black, grim and large. To give the music was his charge. As Tammy glad, amazed and curious, the mirth and fun grew fast and furious. The piper loud and louder blew, the dancers quick and quicker flew. Now Tam, oh Tam, had they been queens of plum and strapping in their teens, their sarks instead of Christian Fallon been Snow White 1700 linen. But Tam kent what was for brawly, there was I wence and winch, and while he that night enlisted in the corps, her cutty sark, old Paisley Han, that while a lassie she had worn, in longitude, though sorely scanty, it was her best, and she was vanity. To sing how Nanny lap and flang, a supple jade she was and strang, and how Tam stood like and bewitched, and thought his very een enriched. Tam tint his reasoner together and roars out, "Weel done, Cutty Sark!" And in an instant, it was dark. And scarcely had he Maggie rallied, when out the hellish legion sallied. So Maggie runs, the witches follow, with many an eldritch screech and hollow. "Ah, Tam! Ah, Tam! They'll get thee faring, in hell they'll roast thee like a herring." Now do they speedy utmost, Meg, and win the keen stain of the brig. There at them thy tail may toss, a running stream they dare not cross. But ere the keen stain she could make, the fainter tail she had to shake. For Nanny, far above far before the rest, hard upon noble Maggie's pressed, and flew at Tam with furious ettle. But always she Maggie's mettle, a spring brought off her master's hail, but left behind her ain grey tail. The carlin clawed her by the rump, and left poor Maggie scarce a stump. Now, where this tale of truth shall read, ilk man and mother's son, take heed, whene'er to drink ye are inclined, or Cutty Sarks run in your mind. Think you may buy the joys or dear, remember Tam O'Shanter's mere. Now, I said that's not all of it, because, well, Kate would be furious if I read the whole poem to you, because, well, she's no happy at all. It's made her Tam a right laughing stock, making him out some kind of comic hero. But you know she blames, don't you? She blames that suitor Johnny. Aye, they always been a misled pair. And do you know what's the worst of it? He's coining it in with tours of his cottage, National Trust are going to buy it so folks in the future can go on a tour of it. Well, I mean, I might have Sassenach blood in me, but I'm no fool. And at least Rabbi recognised that Kate may no fool either. Aye, she gets a mention. Not that she's too happy about the way he phrases it. You know, she hadn't wanted Tam to go out that night. Oh, not with the wee wains. I mean, she's just had twins again. And that storm are coming. And well, Cameron, he loves his daddy. And if Tam had been at home, well, he wouldn't have been greeting Sowen. But anyway, I suppose it took Kate's mind off Tam being out in that weather. And you see, you know what? I'm not just some wee wifey. No, any skellum could see it brewing. Like you say, even the child could understand Dale had work at hand with that storm. Kate and Jean, she saw it coming months ago. She might be deep in her cups, but she's got island blood. Loch Mladdie, I think. You know, Isle Uist. And, well, you know what these islanders are like? Well, they've all got second sight, haven't they? But, mind you, she did say that Tam had drowned in the dune, and, well, she weren't wrong there, thank goodness. But, Tam, he might be a drunken bellum and drawn to a cutty sart, but, well, a man's a man for that. My father was the same. No sooner did he get a bit of coin than he drank it. Mother had to go to the market before folk began to tut the gate so she could get the money off him so we'd at least have something to eat. But Tam, you know. Tam. He weren't always like this. No, he got romantic-sided, Tam. I remember Kate told me he used to write her poems. He did. Real romantic they were. He could have been a macker. Beautiful, beautiful it was. Now, how did it go? She can remember it all, you know. What is it? My love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. My love is like the melody that's sweetly played in tune. I can still remember some of it. You were a sweetheart. But you never know what. That rabbi, well, he's only gone and pinched it and passed it off of his hand. Mind you, with his record, with the lasses, you know what he's like. Tam's last line was, "Fare thee well, my love, fare thee well a while." Well, with that rabbi, he trots between his lovers, and some of them maybe not so keen to be his lovers. I bet it will be a while. I feel for his wife. Jeannie. Belle of Muchlin, indeed. He obviously wrote that to try and soften her up. 12 of her own wens. She got 2 sets of twins and all. Plus, he brings his others back for her to raise. And, sweet woman. She raises them as though they're her own. You'd never know they weren't. He's got a roving eye, he has. But, do you know what? When he was at Kate's house, no, I shouldn't tell you this because, well, you know how proud Kate is, you know, like her house. If you go in her house, everything is in its place. It's all spick and span. Despite having them wains, you know, I'll tell that. She does keep a clean house, does Kate. She scrubs that step. She's forever sweeping that floor. But when Rabbi Burns was there, do you know, I daren't really tell you this because I'd say she'll kill me. She's so mortified because, well, Rabbi, he saw a wee moose, honestly, on the floor. And do you know what's worse? He only goes and bends down looking for a crumb to offer the creature. Well, of course he doesn't find one on Kate's floor. Puts his hand in his pocket, brings out some crumbs, which she swears are from the Eckelfecken cake she made for him earlier, and he offers it to the wee moose. Oh, look at the poor wee sleek-it cowering timorous beastie. And then he goes, oh, that gives me an idea for a poem. I must write it down before I forget. And then he only starts scrabbling through her dresser for a piece of paper without a by your leave, and that must have been when he stole Tam's poem. Oh, and that vaunting nanny that he writes about, he's got a cheek as that, Robert Burns. How he knew about that must have been suited Johnny, because, well, she had a thing for him. Oh, when she was a lass and he was a lad, she always had a thing for Tam, and even now she's dead, she's trying to steal him. She's no better than she should be, you know. No, I know you shouldn't speak ill of the bet, Dad, but, well, that nanny, she's something. I'm sorry, I mean, I know her granny. Oh, it would scare a witless to have seen what Tam saw, and, her in that wee sark as well. But you know what these poets are like. They're like storytellers. They never let the truth get in the way of a good rhyme or story. We've only got his word for what happened. But he's got a roving eye, as that, Robbie. That's what Katie said. She said, yeah, not just a roving eye either. And I bet it was his genie that made him write about us gentle dames in our council suite. Because I wonder if Curtin Jean, I mean, you know what Curtin Jean's like, don't you? I don't need to tell you. I mean, you know what she is. I wonder if she made him feel proper welcome. And he had a twinge of guilt, but I'm not saying that. But, I mean, he is right, what he writes. If only men had listened. Oh, and poor Maggie. Oh, poor Maggie Meg. She weren't so keen to go out in that storm either, you know. Oh, she were right Sarah astonished when Tam set off. Bless her, she held firm, though. And there's always carrots and oats for her to lose her tail like that. Oh, do you know, Kate's mighty furious. Think of the coin that could have been made from that horsehair. I don't know what you're looking like that for, because them soft cushions that you're sitting on, what do you think they're stuffed with that makes them so soft? Horsehair, that's what. Everyone saw it coming. I mean, the only one that didn't see it coming was Tam. And sadly, it hasn't stopped him boozing at the nappy. Aye. But he's always home before pitch dark. Scared of his own shadow. Oh, Paley Wally barely sleeps like he's a Rigwoody Carl. But, I mean, what a way to earn your fame. He's famous for a bonnet. Not like James Watt. Oh, Mrs. Watt, she can be right proud of him with his head full of steam. Yeah, that's something to hold your head about. Oh, and even Alex Cummings with his S-trap pipe and flush toilet. Well, I guess she must be proud. Well, I suppose it's not something you can talk about in polite conversation, a flush toilet, but she must still be proud all the same. But Tam, honestly, Tam, famous for a bonnet. You all have heard about a Tam O'Shanter, I bet. Aye, you might not have heard about what happened to him, but, you know, you'll be wearing one of your tats because everybody wants a Tam O'Shanter now. Oh, I don't know. I've knitted that bonnet, and now I'm making pom-poms dusk till dawn and knitting my fingers to the bone. Because you know why everyone wants a Tam O'Shanter, don't you? It's to keep the deal away. And as for that Robbie Burns, do you know, he never paid us a penny for that story or for the poem he stole. But Kate's no bitter, and so I shouldn't be either. Well, he should have been a macker. He might be a macker. So I say, Let's toast the man with John Barleycorn and dig into that sconsy pudding. Slansh Maham. And a deep apologies to my Scottish friends and my old Scottish school friends for doing that in pure Yorkshire, and I'm not even a Yorkshire lass. Thank you.
And that was Vicky Orton. So next up we have some music from Carol coming up to join us here. Round of applause for Carol. And for those of you just tuning... Oh.
Come down slightly. Should be okay, I think, there. Well, this is something else in Yorkshire that should be in Scottish, but never mind. It's not good. There's only one word in this song that you won't get. It is one of Robbie Burns, or I'm assuming it was Robbie Burns anyway. To me, it's a song that has almost all of life in it, whether it's nature, human nature, or farming, or anything else, but it's all there in this one song, so it's really good. Now, whistling winds and slaughtering guns bring autumn's pleasant weather. The moorcock springs on whirring wings among the blooming heather. The waving grain wide o'er the plain delights a weary farmer, and the moon shines bright as I roam by night to muse upon my charmer. The partridge loves the fruited fells, the plover loves the mountain, the woodcock haunts the lonely dells, the soaring heron the fountain. Through lonesome groves the cushat roams, the path a man to shun it, and the hazel bush o'erhangs the thrush, the spreading thorn the linnet. Thus every kind the pleasure find, the savage and the tender. Some social join, some leagues combine, some solitary wander. Avant away, man's cruel sway, tyrannic man's dominion. The sportsman's joy, the murdering cry, the fluttering gory pinion. But oh my dear, the evening's clear, swift flies the skimming swallow. The sky is blue and the fields in view are shining green and yellow. So let us stray our gladsome way to view the charms of nature. The fluttering corn, the fruited thorn, and every happy creature. We'll gently walk and sweetly talk while the silent moon shines clearly. I'll clasp thy waist and gently pressed swear how I love thee dearly. Not vernal showers to budding flowers, not autumn to the farmer, so dear can be as thou art to me, my fair, my lovely charmer. Not so dear can be as thou art to me, my fair, my lovely charmer. Thank you.
Certainly a favourite of mine. This is Burns at his best, I think, for all that and all that. Is there that honest poverty that hangs his head and all that? A coward slave we pass him by, we dare be poor for all that. For all that and all that, our toils obscure and all that, the rank is but the guinea's stamp, the man's a gowd for all that. What though on hamely fare we dine, we're hodden grey and all that, gie fools their silks and knaves their wine, a man's a man for all that. For all that and all that, their tinsel show and all that, the honest man, though e'er sae poor, is king o' men for all that. You see yon birkie ca'd a lord, what struts and stares and all that, though hundreds worship at his word, he's but a coof for all that. For all that and all that, his ribbon star and all that, the man of independent mind, he looks and laughs at all that. A prince can mak a belt at night, a marquis duke and all that, but an honest man's aboon his might. Good faith, he mauna fa that. For all that and all that, their dignities and all that, the pith of sense and pride of worth, are higher rank for all that. Then let us pray that come it may, and come it will for all that sense and worth o'er all the earth may bear the gree and all that. For all that and all that, it's coming yet for all that man to man the world o'er shall brothers be for all that.
A wee short address to a haggis. I'm only joking, it's not as long as that. Okay. Address to a haggis. I've got a knife, so be nice to me. Fair fa, ye honest, sonsy face, great chieftain o' the puddin' race. Aboon them all, ye tak your place, pench tripe or therm. Wail your ye wordy o' a grace as lang's my arm. If you don't know what I'm talking about now, then you've got no chance in verse 93. The groaning drencher, there ye fill your hurdies like a distant hill. Your pin would help to mend a mill in time of need, while through your pores the dews distill like amber bead. His knife see rustic labour dight and cut ye up wi' ready slight. Trenching your gushing entrails bright, like ony ditch, it's no working. And then, oh what a glorious sight, warm, reeking, rich. Right, there we go. Then, horn for horn, they stretch and strive. They'll tack the hinmost on they drive, till all their wheel-swelled kites behive and bent like drums. Then old Goodman, maist like to rive, bethunkit hums. Are you with me? Yes. No idea. Is there that o'er his French ragout, or olio that would staw a sow, or fricassee would make her spew wi' perfect scorner? He's saying, you know, we've got the best, all these other countries have got nothing. Looks down with sneer and scornful view on sick a dinner. Poor devil, see him o'er his trash, as feckless as withered rash, his spindle shank a good whiplash is never knit. Through bloody flood or field to dash, oh, how unfit. But mark the rustic haggis fed, the trembling earth resounds his tread. Clap in his wally neva blade. He'll mak it whistle, and legs and arms and heads will sned like taps o' thistle. We're coming to the end now. Ye powers will mak mankind your care and dish them out their bill of fare. All Scotland wants nae shinken ware that jops in luggies. But if you wish her grateful prayer, gie her a haggis.
And that is Sonia. Sonia's going to sing in just a moment here, but before that, we're going to bring you another example of someone around the world who looked up to and loved Robert Burns, poet. So the United States is full of lots of great folk singers with Scottish backgrounds and Scottish folk songs that have spread all over the place. And one of the most famous folk singers, anyone know the guy who, I mentioned Bob Dylan earlier, who Bob Dylan took a lot of his cues from? Anyone know and he also has Scottish ancestors? Yeah, Vicky?
Woody Guthrie.
Woody Guthrie. So how do people know Woody Guthrie, the great folk singer, political folk singer? Well, Woody Guthrie was adored Robert Burns, and he wrote a letter to Robert Burns towards the end of his life. I'm just going to read you a little bit of what Woody Guthrie wrote to Robert Burns here, just a few words of it, or a couple paragraphs, short bits from Woody Guthrie. This is from 1947. The great folk singer wrote to Robert Burns, "You skipped in the big town streets just like I done. You crossed a crosstown cop just like I did. And you seldom stopped off in any big city where the hot wine didn't help you do your talking. And your words turned into songs and floated upstream, and then they turned into rains and drifted down and lodged and swung and clung to drifts of driftwood to warm and heat and fertilize new seeds. Robert Burns, your words were the upheath and the down. Your words were more from heather than from town. And your thoughts came more from weather than from schoolroom, and more from shifting vines than from the book. And I bought your little fair 4-inch square book when I was a torpedoed seaman during the Second World War, walking around over your clods and sods in Glasgow. And that little book says on the outer cover, 50 songs of Burns, the price 4D. And I read it from page to page, and I found you covered a woman on every page. And I thought as I picked up the book here at home in Coney Island, New York, that maybe the book ought to have some kind of new name, like 50 pages of 50 women by Robert Burns. And so, Robert Burns, that's why I keep you posted and brought up to date as the new year leafs out. Woody Guthrie, June 1947. So a little bit of his homage. So Sonia is back to sing us. Oh, Sonia and Steve both together, yes, for a rendition of Red, Red Rose. Here it is.
So Robert Burns wrote Red, Red Rose 2 years before he died, so he wrote it in 1794. Don't know who he wrote the poem for, because as Vicky has alluded to, he had a lot of people that he loved, in inverted commas. And the poem is basically a very deep and a very true love for somebody, or perhaps several people, knowing Robert Burns. Sorry.
And another round of applause for Steve and Sonia.
my love, though 'twere 10,000 miles. And fare thee well, my only love, and fare thee well a while, and I will come again, my love, though 'twere 10,000 miles. All my love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. All my love is like a melody that's slowly playing in tune. So we're now going to sing, and Steve's going to play the Sky Boat song, which hopefully you'll all join in the chorus of, or even if you know the verses, please do join in as well. Please feel very welcome to do so.
And it's nothing to do with Robbie Burns. Unfortunately, it's it's about Bonnie Prince Charlie and him running away from, fleeing from Culloden. Okay.
Like a bird on the wing, on with the sailor's cry. That's born to be king over the sea to sky. Loud is home, loud is
Yet ere the sword cold in the sheath, Charlie will come again.
Oh,
Speed, bonny boat, like a bird on the wing, on with the sailor's cry. Carry the lad that's born to be king over the sea to sky.
This Burns wrote on turning up a field mouse in her nest with the plough And this was in November 1785. To a mouse. Wee sleekit cowering timorous beastie, oh, what a panic's in thy breastie. Thou needna start a war sae hasty wi' bicker and brattle. I wad be laith to run and chase thee wi' murder and pattle. I'm truly sorry man's dominion has broken nature's social union and justifies that ill opinion which makes thee startle at me, thy poor earth-born companion and fellow mortal. I doubt nae whiles but thou may thieve. What then, poor beastie, thou maun live? A daemon icker in a thraves, a small request, I'll get a blessing wi' the lave and never miss it. Thy wee bit hoosie too in ruin, it's silly was the winds are strewing, and naething now too big a knowing of foggies green, and bleak December's winds ensuing, baith snell and keen. Thou saw the fields laid bare and wast, and weary winter coming fast, and cosy here beneath the blast. Thou thought to dwell, till crash the cruel coulter passed out through thy cell. That wee bit heap o' leaves and stibble has cost thee mony a weary nibble. Now those turned out for all thy trouble, but house or hold, to thole the winter's sleety dribble and Cranrach called. But Mousie, thou art no thy lane, and proven foresight may be vain. The best laid schemes of mice and men gang aft a gley, and lea us nought but grief and pain for promised joy. Still thou art blessed compared wi' me, the present only touches thee. But och, I backward cast my e'e on prospects drear, and forward, though I canna see, I guess and fear.
End of Chapel FM's Burns Night 2025. We have one more performer to welcome to the stage, and then we have a final big sing-along at the end of that. So thank you for joining us here and tuning in. So now welcome Gloria.
The rushes, and somebody told me that this is the you know, the Mexicans used to talk about the English and the Americans as gringos, and it's meant to come from this song because they used to sing this song. I don't know if that's true or not, but
Green grow the
the sweetest hours that ever I've spent among the blessed. Give me a canny hour and lay my arms about my dearie old, and all he cares for all he man, they all get up so cheery on. Green grow the rushes, oh, green grow the rushes, oh, the sweetest hours that I've spent among the lasses. And you seduce, you sneer at this, you're not but senseless asses, oh, the wisest man the world e'er saw, he dearly loved the lasses. Green grow the rushes, oh, green grow the rushes, oh, the sweetest hours that e'er I've spent among the lasses. And nature swears her lovely dears, her noblest work she classes, oh, apprentice hand she tried on man, and she made the masses, oh. Green grow the rushes, oh, green grow the rushes, oh, the sweetest hours that e'er I've spent among the lasses. Green grow the rushes, oh, green grow the rushes, oh, the sweetest hours that e'er I've spent Have a bit more guitar. Thank you very much. This next one is called Call the Yows, a beautiful song. And call the yows, it means call the sheep. Call the yows to the nows, to the fold. Call them where the burnie rose, where the stream flows. My bonny dearie. Call the yows to the nose, call them where the heather grows, call them where the burnie rose. My bonny dearie, hark the May this evening sang, sound and cloud and swords among, then a folding meadows gang. My bonny dearie, yonder cloud kind of towers, where at moonlight midnight hours, o'er the dewy bending flowers, fairies dance a cheery. Call the yows to the nose, call them where the heather grows, call them where the burnie rose. My bonny dearie, we'll go down my cloud side, through the haze all spreading wide, o'er the waves that sweetly glide, till the moon's a cheery. very much. We've heard this one already. It's, I thought I'd finish with it. James reciting it in a very authentic Lowland Scots accent. And here it is in a very authentic West Yorkshire accent. It's a man's man for all that. I like doing this because I feel there's a sort of sense of irony in somebody like me singing this. I don't know what Burns would have thought. He'd be spinning round in his grave at a ferocious rate, no doubt. A man's man for all that, yeah. And he wrote this shortly after the French Revolution, which was 1789. I don't know exactly when he wrote it, but it was around that time. There was a lot of revolution in the air. And he felt it was unusual. It's based on an existing song called For All That and All That, which is a rather boring traditional song. And he made it something really special, unique, revolutionary. After I've sung this. It's a powerful song. You should learn, everybody, if you like singing, singing is good. It's good for the soul, good for the spirit. If you want to sing, if you learn this, and if you felt a little bit down, and then you just thought, I know I'll sing, a man's a man for all that, you'd feel so much better. You wouldn't need sleeping pills or anything like that. You'd just feel fantastic. You'd want to go out and conquer the world. So anyway. Is there for honest poverty that hangs its head on the coward's stray we passing by, we dare be poor for all that, for all that and all that, our toils obscure and all that. Thank is but a guinea's stamp, and that's the goal for all that. What though and home fair we dine, wear hood and grey and all that. Give fools their silks and knaves their wine, a man's a man for all that. For all that and all that, their tinsel show and all that. The honest man nowhere's a poor, is king and man for all that. You see yon buggy corner lord that struts and stares and all that. Though hundreds worship at his word, he's but a coup for all that. For all that and all that, his ribbon star and all that. The man of independent mind, he looks and laughs and all that. A prince can make a belted knight, a marquis, duke and all that. But an honest man, with all his might, good faith he won all that. For all that and all that, the dignities and all that, a pith of sense and pride of worth, a higher rank and all that. So let us pray that come it may, as come it will for all that. That sense and worth for all the earth
So, thank you, Gloria. And this brings us to the end. We've got a final sing-along. But it's such an honor every year and treat to, and just a joy to be able to celebrate Robert Burns' poetry and all that it means. And that song was a great way to close it out. But we have a sing-along now. Sonia and Steve back here. The words will appear on the screen behind us. A tune that I think we all know. Here it comes any moment here. The words will be appearing shortly. Okay, there it comes. They are appearing. Sonia, do you want to use this one here? You can use that? Okay, great. So join us all in anything you want to say about the song, Sonia? Or you want to just...
No, except that it's nearly 4 weeks, and since we actually sang this,
yes.
Can't believe it's nearly 4 weeks, but it is. And everybody knows the song. Sorry.
I just wanted to know what actually means Auld Lang Syne.
For old time's sake.
Yeah. And I'll get Steve set up here. I should also say, if you enjoyed tonight, we have lots of other events coming up at Chapel FM over the coming weeks, including next week, Film Night. And I'm looking around for the Jack lead here. Okay, you got to come down here. So there it is. So Film Night next Friday night. And then the week after that, we're going to be doing a big community forum on February 7th about working with asylum seekers and welcoming, connecting with, making art with refugees and asylum seekers, many who are involved here at Chapel FM. And then after that, on February 12th, we'll have our Blue Owl open mic for young people coming up. Okay, and now Sonia and Steve to take us out. And everybody here at Chapel FM Radio Theatre, join on in.
Thank you, Tony. I'm going to look this way, so I'm very sorry for having my back to you, but I seem to have the Rod Stewart version here, which might be slightly different to yours. So thank you, Tony, and thank you, Elliot, and all his team. Fantastic. Really lovely.
One, two, three.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot in the days of Auld Lang Syne? For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll drink a cup of kindness yet for the sake of Auld Lang Syne. And surely you will buy your cup, and surely I'll buy mine. We'll take a cup of kindness yet for the sake of Auld Lang Syne. For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll drink a cup of kindness yet for the sake of Auld Lang Syne. We two who've paddled in the stream from morning sun till night, the seas between us roared and swelled since the days of Auld Lang Syne. For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll drink a cup of kindness yet for the sake of Auld Lang Syne. The seas between us roared and swelled since the days of Auld Lang Syne. For old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind. For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll drink a cup of kindness yet for the sake of Auld Lang Syne. For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll drink a cup of kindness yet for the sake of Auld Lang Syne.
wake up at in the morning?
I wake up at 5, 6, 7 or 8.
I wake up about 11 or 12.
I wake up at about 8 and then I listen to East Leeds Community Radio.
My rifle and you'll set me on the trail. High hills before me, the early sunshine pale. Rising o'er the maidens are reflecting on Fearmore. While high on the hillside the royal rivals roar. Show